live. All right. Let's see here. It says that I'm streaming live. I'm not sure if I'm streaming live or not yet. I gotta still figure this out. Man, YouTube has really changed since I went live. Okay, so they added some new shit here. Okay, so they added a few new stuff here that I need to get used to. A few new buttons here and there. Shout out to everybody who's watching me right now. If you're watching me right now, say something in the chat room just so I know that I'm actually live. I cannot tell that I'm live right now. It says in stream, so I'm guessing the stream is indeed on. I have an excellent connection according to YouTube. That's a good sign. But yeah, man, hop in the chat room and let me know I'm on, man. Let me just try some of my old sound effects here. Looks like everything is working. Let's see this. This is the classic one.
Get out of here, you damn nigga!
Okay, all right. I gotta have that on deck. I gotta have that on deck, particularly when I get the phone system working on my next show. Because we know all the foolishness is definitely going to come back once I start going live again regularly. We all know that the foolishness will arrive. That is you know, commonplace when you're talking about stocks on YouTube. But with that being said, folks, I mean, everything that I said in my video in regards to the market and the 50 moving average, the 10-month moving average, and the fact that the market continues to stay below the 10-month moving average on the monthly chart, by the way, on the monthly chart, then we're pretty much going to stay short until we actually have a month where we close above that. And it's struggling to get above that line, but you know, I'm not a believer in this market right now, man. I'm still seeing interest rates the way they are right now. They're continuing to stay high. And where are the best places to be? Gold, silver. You know, it's definitely not in stocks right now. You're not going up. You haven't made any money. I've been telling you and preaching non-directional trading for the last year and a half. Nobody really listened to me. Even though, if you did the strategy according to the way I taught it to you, believe it or not, you haven't lost a trade. We're not going to go into that right now because, you know, it's so hard to believe. It's so hard for so many people to believe that if you put an iron condor together, 20 points wide on each side, right? And you close or manage the trade between 13 to 14 days on a 45-day time frame, and you do that over and over and over again, you won't lose. You literally won't lose. With that being said, I'd love to know what you guys are trading right now. I'd love to know your thoughts on the market. So please get into the chat room and say something. Again, I don't know if I'm talking to myself or not right now. I really don't know. It says I have viewers. I see a couple likes coming in. Do I have to restart this? Let me see here. Oh, okay. There we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. I see the chat room. I see the chat room. Says, who is Terry Julian? Terry Julian is this new pseudonym I'm going to go under, man. Because your boy Sal's been getting so much trouble with this show. I had to hide my channel. For those of you guys who don't remember, I had to hide my channel for like 4 or 5 months when I was working at Bank of America, because they kept telling me that my show was, I don't know, basically the licenses I had and what I was doing on YouTube, they didn't gist, man. So I either had to choose working at Bank of America, my licenses, or the show. And then while I was working at Bank of America, the money was so funny. My show was making more money than what I was doing at Bank of America. I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know? So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to do the show. And then, boom, COVID happened. And once COVID happened, I'm like, fuck, I need to run another bag up. So somebody introduced me to trucking, and I got into that. Went and got my CDL, and then left Prime, then went to Averett, left Averett. I basically, and when I say left, I don't mean like I actually volunteered to go. They basically told me to go, man. They basically told me to go because, as I mentioned, I got to a point where, bro, like, I cared more about trading than arriving on time to deliver my loads, man. That's just what it was. And then once my Beyond Meat shorts really started caking, man, I stopped really giving a fuck about trucking. I'm not even gonna lie. You know, I told you guys Beyond Meat will go down in history as one of the greatest, not in the top 5, but probably top 25 greatest scams of all time. I've been saying that forever. Beyond Meat is a piece of trash. I have been shorting it since the high. You know, it's gone against me a couple times. I've held on. I've had sleepless nights, but it rewarded me overwhelmingly, like more than I could, uh, really speak on. And after that collapse, man, I just really stopped giving a fuck about trucking, man. I stopped really giving a fuck about trucking. I really stopped. Uh, I wasn't on time, man. My on time delivery rate was like 40%, bro. And they would ask me, well, hey, what's going on? And it wasn't the truck. I tried to blame the truck. The truck was fine. I just wasn't giving a fuck about trucking, man. I didn't give a fuck about trucking. I really didn't. You know, I love trading too fucking much. I love working on my websites too fucking much. I just, but shout out to the truck drivers, man. Shout out to those guys who can be away from their families like that. I found myself in the middle of Idaho. I've never even been to Idaho, but you go out there, bro, it's just farms. And you just see like corn or whatever the fuck that was, like for miles. And then you run into like a house here and maybe one business there. And then I'm out there, and I remember one day I was thought to myself, and I was like, what the fuck is you doing out here? Like, what the fuck are you doing out here? How did your black ass get all the way in the middle of Idaho in this, don't get me wrong, a beautiful Freightliner Cascadia, damn near brand new, right out of the factory. I didn't even know about these trucks, man, but these are smacking brand new. I can still smell the plastic. That's how new this truck was. But it wasn't me. It wasn't fucking me, man. I was taking a spot that belonged to somebody else. Somebody else was in Springfield waiting for a truck who really wanted to be a truck driver. My Iron Condors were killing it. I had made a ton of money on Beyond Meat and on Peloton. It was no reason for me to do it, man. And once I actually did close my trade in Beyond Meat, I finally had some capital because, again, all my money was tied up for the most part in Beyond Meat because I really believed that this was going to be the game changer for me, and it followed through. How you say, how were the hoes at the truck stops? Man, let me tell you something about lot lizards, bro. Most of those, women are on drugs. Uh, Nah, man, that's not your type, bro. That's not what you want to go for, man. You know, when I was in my training phase for about a month and a half, we went out there to Memphis, and there's just a lot of lot lizards out in Memphis. I don't know what it is about Memphis, Tennessee, but there are a ton of lot lizards out there. I never got a chance to go to the West Coast because my trainer was adamant about not going to the West Coast. He's like, hey, I don't do West Coast runs, and so I never got a chance to go out there. And once I got my own truck, I had the same attitude. I mean, not because I didn't want to see California. Of course, I would have loved to gone out there, but I don't know. It was just something where it was like it seemed like the money was coming in when they would just let me keep stay on the East Coast. So, but again, like I said, man, I just wasn't on time, bro. Like I wasn't doing the job right, man. So Prime was like, okay, it's going to be this or going to be that. So I left Prime and then I went to Averett. And just so you guys can see, this is my Prime card, just to let you know it was the real deal. Uh, Here's my Averett card. I just pretty much done with Averett. So I was with Averett. Averett's a clean outfit too, man. But again, didn't give a fuck, man. I was running out of Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? But again, I didn't give a fuck about trucking, man. I didn't give a fuck about trucking, bro. The pay was legit though, man. The pay was all right, man. Man, the training was bullshit. The training pay is bullshit. I ain't gonna lie. The training pay was bullshit. It was anywhere between like 6 to 8 a week in training. I was fucking horrible, man. That was horrible. But once I got on the road, uh, it was about seven. Anywhere between a good week would be like 1,700 a week. You know, a good week would be 1,700 a week. A bad week would be about 11. Particularly if I didn't do my fuel right and stuff like that. Um, you know, and I didn't run my miles right. But again, like I just was fucking up, man. I could have made so much more money if I cared about the business. If I cared about the business, I would have made so much more money. And then I had opportunities to do some like FedEx, UPS stuff with some guys who had like contracts in it. And but again, man, like I wasn't interested in doing in running with another guy in the truck. And like I said, man, like one set of balls is enough for a truck, man. When you got two set of balls in there, it's just, bro, it's too much. It's too much. The trading trucker was I leasing? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was leased. I was leased on the Prime. I was leased on the Prime. I was not a company driver. Company don't make no money, man. Company is great because you don't worry about anything, but the lease checks are nicer. The lease checks are way way better. The guy who was training me was a lease operator, so it just made sense. And plus, I had already had so much experience, you know, in 1099 that I was very very comfortable continuing to be paid 1099. So I didn't want to go back to doing W-2, man. W-2 is just, it's just shout out to everybody in the chat room, man. Shout out to all of you guys who are here. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to everybody who's here in the chat room, man. Let me shout some of you guys out, man. JD, George Van, Cameron, Travie. Shout out to Travie. Travie been here for years. Shout out to you, Travie, man. Like I said, I'm gonna get the line 2 set up here on my next show. I'm gonna be going live nightly again. Being that now the websites are going good again. I got a great affiliate program with Semenax that's doing really well. So I'm going to be promoting Semenax. So shout out to everybody who, maybe your semen isn't where you needed to be. Semenax has got what it takes, man, to get your semen levels up. You know what I mean? Some of you guys are on these pills that get your thing big and stiff, but you're not finishing. You know what I'm saying? You're not really finishing the way you need to be finishing. You're not delivering those face covering loads that women love. So with the help of Semenax, you know what I'm saying? Then you can become that beast in the bedroom that she really wants you to be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's coming here soon. That's gonna be really popping off. Maybe next week I'll finish the ad. So you'll hear that Semenax ad as I start my show. Yeah, man. Hey, man. Hey, look. Most of my viewers are men, so it made sense, man. It makes sense. Most of my viewers are men. It makes sense. Uh, I don't know what's been going with some of these other YouTubers, man. Chris Sane, you know, y'all done turn on Chris Sane. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the brother. I'll never, go against another brother on YouTube, but god damn, y'all really going in on him. Homie had to cancel all his, comments. He had to close the comments on all his videos. If you go to Chris Sane right now, you cannot comment on his videos because there's so many people calling him a scam, calling him a fraud. He had to turn the comments off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. Don't try it yet. Don't try it yet, OG. You know what I'm saying? They're getting me my affiliate link and all of that started. So once I get the affiliate link, I'll show you guys and go ahead and click and get yourself a 3-month supply because it takes a little bit, about 3 months for your body to really, develop those loads, man. You know. Let me say it's a bear market out here. It definitely is a bear market compared to the all-time highs is where we were at recently. Look, Fox. Excuse me. Look, folks, we could be in this range for the next 3 to 4 years, 3 to 5 years. I really don't see us breaking out until they turn the faucets on PE back on. You know what I'm saying? Because these folks, they don't really know how to create real wealth the right way, which is building a middle class that can buy new things and, buy new homes and still have money left over. They don't know how to do that. So now they've got to artificially prop up the market with PE. That's the only way they know how to do it. The faucet had been turned off as of, uh, the end of COVID for the most part. They're raising interest rates to calm the market down. But eventually they're going to go back to that because, again, they don't want to do it the right way. The right way is making sure that some of that money gets to the middle class. But they're not interested in doing that. They want to turn all of you into debt slaves, turn all of you into renters who don't have homes already, right? You're seeing Blackstone buy billions and billions of dollars worth of homes. So you guys can turn into Europeans. Like Europe, in Europe, people rent for their literally their whole lives in Europe. In Europe, people rent for their entire lives. They never own property. You have generations of renters in Europe. You know. That's why in Europe you still have the title lord. That, landlord, but they just take the land off. It's lord. Lord is typically a large landowner. That's who those people are. And these people who own hundreds of dozens of properties in which Londoners and Englanders and all these other people live in for their whole entire lives. You know. Let me see here. It's a bear market. Yeah, it is a bear market. Well, so all them YouTubers did. All the fake and phony YouTubers dipped. Yeah. The ones who were in it for quick money dipped. Yes, indeed. Oh, hold on, man. I think I done. I can hear my girl trying to come into my house here. Brief moment. 1 second, guys. All right. I'm back. You said that's why you're leaving the ATL, moving to a small country town. Well, as long as they got the resources to, to keep your standard of living up, then that's all that matters. You know. Speaking of crypto, somebody brought that up in the chat room. I'm not a believer in the move in crypto right now. There is a nice little bounce going on. I want to see if it's real, man. I want to see if this is real because, to me, it just looks like somebody who wanted to take a large position and they've taken a large position. Now it's up to these higher time frames to continue on purchasing to maintain that level. Whenever you see a stock moving up, well, this isn't even a stock. I don't know what you describe Bitcoin. I still don't even understand how to really describe. We can't even say it's a commodity or what. But anyway, there's a case for it in each time frame that those buyers, jump on and continue riding it. And now, as we can see here with Bitcoin, um, let's see if these traders who look at these higher time frame charts like this price action and will continue to jump on. That's all that matters. What's going on, man of tomorrow? Yeah, I sound a little bit funny because I got a little bit of a cold, but we're getting over it. We're getting over it. Glad to see you too, bro. Mr. JRH. Oh, okay, Mr. JRH. That's okay. Buying 65% of VU, 35% of VXUS with the profits. That's what's up, man. Gucci said if I remembered his username, I don't. So let me know what it is. Oh, shout out to More Peace. Look at that. So a bunch of you guys changed your name. I get it, man. I mean, you want something new, you want something fresh. Shout out to all of you guys who changed your name. You know what I'm saying? You want something new, you want something fresh too. And again, this is going to be my new name. This is going to be the Terry Julian show. I know it's it's funny. I know it's kind of weird. Some of you guys are going to keep calling me Sal. That's fine. I'll still answer to that. But for all the new subscribers, this is the Terry Julian show. Terry Julian gets to say whatever he wants without his cousin going and rant to his aunt, and you know who you are. Oh man, he's saying all this stuff on YouTube, and it's embarrassing me because one day I want to be a lawyer, and if I be a lawyer, and he's using, and we both got the same name, it might hurt me and my chances. So anyway, that's a family squabble. I should have probably not put out there, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's the Terry Julian show. Terry Julian going to get to be able to say whatever he wants, put out content under the name Terry Julian, and nobody's bothered by it. Okay? Yeah, it's very professional. The Terry Julian show. There we go. Very professional. Yes, sir. But I'm going to have to dress up my presentation here, so I might have to move over to some of them new streaming platforms that are hot right now. XSplit seems to be dropping the ball here, but shout out to this my girl here. What's going on, baby? Okay, you want to show everybody your booty real quick? Okay. All right. All right, man. Check out the dividend for ZIM. I'm not big into dividends. I'm not big into dividends. Yeah, she didn't want to hear that when I asked her about that. I hope I didn't make her mad with that. Yeah, man. So let me know what you guys are trading right now, man. Like I said, the way to trade right now is non-directional trades, man. And again, I was on that way before the market even started doing what we're doing right now, which is going sideways. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I don't want to say I be calling shit, but I really be calling shit, man. I really be calling shit. I really don't know what you guys are looking at right now. We've just been in this trend since October of last year. I'd love to see the market, particularly in QQQ, challenge 300. Let's break out of these levels and do something. Let's do something in the Qs. But until then, um, I'm not impressed, man. I'm not impressed with what the market is doing in anything right now. I'm not impressed with what the market is doing in anything right now. So please put some tickers in the chat room. I know some of you guys are still fucking around with the penny stocks. I don't know why you're doing that, but I know some of you guys are still doing that. Shout out to everybody who got killed by financial education, that other channel. And I don't know why you guys fuck. Hey, subscribers! That motherfucker always irritated the shit out of me. And I guess he drove everybody into this ticker. Is it TTQL or something like that? What was the ticker that financial education drove everybody to and they lost money? Somebody say it in the chat room. I know somebody knows what it was. And you got this poor Asian brother who said he lost like $6,000 in it. He made a video saying he lost $6,000. Let me see who. Yeah, see, but y'all listen to the white boy instead of me. Even though I be putting y'all on game. Let me see. TTCF. I think it was TTCF. Yeah, at $21 a share. At $21 a share. I saw the video. Like I said, I was caring more about trading than I was trucking. And the video came out, and I mean, he's got a large subscriber base. TTCF, he made the trade. All right, he made the call, and I mean, it shitted on people. It was a complete disaster, an absolute disaster. Again, great stocks rise above the 10-month moving average on the monthly chart. Great stocks rise above the 10-month moving average, and this was a complete disaster. A complete disaster. I mean, I don't understand how anybody can look at this chart and say, I want to buy into this. How? And now you've got a whole bunch of people calling him a scam artist, calling him a fraud. But, I mean, these guys do this to themselves. This dude he is not someone who has a love of trading. He doesn't have a love for it. He don't have a love for it. He doesn't even use charts in his videos. But because he's got the complexion for the comprehension, you guys believe him. So it is what it is, man. Y'all fucks with him, even though, your boy Terry Julian be delivering the real deal on these stocks. Telling you Beyond Meat was a fraud. Telling you Peloton was a fraud. Telling you Humble was a fraud. Telling you Wayfair was a fraud. And look at where all those stocks are at now. Did you buy puts? Probably not. Because, again, your boy don't have the complexion for the comprehension. But I'm going to keep delivering the real deal. I'm going to keep doing it, though. I'm going to keep fighting through it. Because my people are going to learn eventually. My people are going to learn eventually that you don't have to have a $500 course to be believable. Okay? Y'all going to listen eventually to your boy, man. All right? We're going to get out of this. And the one thing you guys need to do to get out of this right now is to do some non-directional trading, because you're not getting anything else for a while, man. I'm telling you right now, for the next 3 to 4 years, this is going to be a very, very boring stock market. This is going to be like when I first showed up on the scene, like 2012 to like 2016. This is how boring it's going to be. And only the real of the real is going to be able to make it, man. Like, if you're not somebody who just needs that dopamine, like, hit of a stock being up 50% in one day, you'll be able to do well. You'll be able to do well. But if you're one of these people who you kind of need this, this constant, 10% a day, 3% a day moves in the market. Eh, in a stock particular, in particular, you're going to be bored out of your mind for the next 2 to 3 years. You're going to be bored out of your mind. You know. Shout out to Poker Pro. Okay, you changed your name to OG1. You know. Dark Kermit, what's up, man? He said just getting cooked in options, so just sit back waiting for a pump stock. No, there's there's a lot of ways to make money right now in trading. You can still make a lot of money out here. Again, I don't promote day trading, but if I do promote trading, I always promote it with black box stocks because, again, everyone who's day trading is cheating the game. No one's doing it blind. They're using some kind of black box system or algorithmic trading system to help them. I think anybody who's promoting day trading just with no assistance from some kind of smart bot, you're an idiot. You're disingenuous. You know, because some of the best day traders they're using some kind of software to give them an edge that's reading the market faster, better, and wider than they can to give them an edge in the market, on a daily basis that you can't do. You can't do. So you need something to do that. Now, I don't want to have to depend on the system, so I decide to go on these higher time frames. We'll say, well, Sal, moving averages are lagging indicators. Yeah, I'd rather be a lagging indicator. I'd rather jump into a situation that is I'm slightly behind, but the trend is accurate than those of you guys who are jumping in these 5-minute, 1-minute candles only for it to be a false signal. I'm not doing that anymore, man. Those are olden days where I was like, oh shit, $750 loss. I don't want to do that shit no more, man. That shit gets old after a while. That shit gets old after a while, bro. It gets annoying. It gets upsetting. Someone said, Darth Kermit said, boring is profitable. Exactly. That's the mentality I want more traders to take on. Boring is very profitable. When I was, 60-day trades, 90-day trades, very boring, but man, extremely profitable. Extremely profitable. And because the options have so much time value, even when we get a 1% or 2% move against you 1 day or 2 days, it doesn't matter because there's so much time value, it works its way out. It works its way out. Obviously, you don't want the move to be consistent. I mean, to go against you, but it usually it doesn't. And I'm speaking in the gist of iron condors. It doesn't. But boring is what makes you money, guys. I'm telling you, boring is what makes you money. You said, Buck Potter, you stopped playing the stock market and switched over to cryptos. It reminds me of OTC back in the day. Shout out to Treasure Hunter, man. Shout out to Treasure Hunter. You changed your name to Buck Potter. Okay, just for you, I'm gonna play that sound effect you like, bro. Just for you. How about that?
You damn nigga!
Yeah, I'm bringing that back because I'm gonna turn on the phones on the next show. And again, like I said, I'm gonna be doing because the market is so slow. I'm probably not gonna be doing a nightly show, but maybe every other night. So I'm thinking like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of thing, or a Monday, Wednesday kind of thing. Probably Monday, Wednesday, and then put out content the other day. We'll see. But folks, we could be in this range for a long time, man. You know, It's, these folks know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. They know how to do it. They've been doing this for a long time. When it comes to manipulating the U.S. dollar, manipulating uh, the market to determine its direction, they know exactly what they're doing. Yes, I'm back. I'm back, man. I did a whole spiel on that, Kermit, and I'm not going to go into it too much. I've kind of already went there, but I'm sure knowing me, I'll dig back into it. But I'm back. 2022 sucked. 2023 might suck as well. 2023 is going to be worse than 2022 if you don't know any advanced option strategies, right? Learn, you know, bull put spreads. Learn, bear call spreads. Learn those different option strategies, right? Those option strategies where you can, you know, make money when the market is going up or down. You've got to learn a different option strategy, man. Like just buying a call isn't going to work anymore. You remember those days you can, you know, wake up on Monday, buy a weekly call option in Apple, and it would just work for the whole week. It would just work. You know, that's not gonna work anymore, man. That's not gonna work anymore. Absolutely, the results of high interest rates will kill 2023. Yeah, and because you got to remember, many of the high flying stocks of 2020, they didn't generate any income for the most part. They were not companies that generated net profit, right? These were companies that kept their operations going based on borrowing the basically zero cost money, uh, which was at that time the right thing for them to do, and the you know stock owners at the time were rewarded for it. But now in a high interest rate environment, your cost of your debt is higher. These companies that don't generate, any black have to pay a lot more on their debt. They've got to squeeze their margins even further, and they look like horrible investments. And the stock prices have adjusted for that. Absolutely, absolutely, and that's something that we see in the market again. Markets go down faster than they go up. That's why the move lower was so fast. It caught so many people off guard, particularly new investors. Particularly new investors. Now, if you're somebody who's been in Tesla since 2012 or 2016, been in AMD since 2016, you're still up. You know, you're still up. Here's AMD 2016. You're still up. You're not enjoying looking at your investment going down in value, but you're still up. But for a lot of new investors, they got killed. They got killed. You know, the pandemic investor is long gone. I mean, anybody who is a pandemic investor now and you're still in the game, I salute you. I really do. But the pandemic investors are, for the most part, long gone. And again, you can see it by looking at the views of guys like Chris Sane, financial education, and all of these other jokers who were making crazy amount of views during the pandemic, and now they're basically at 1/10 of the amount of views that they had previously. And they've been continuously streaming. They didn't stop and disappear. They've been continuously streaming. And yet the audience has basically vanished. All right, because so many traders, um, again, you got a lot of people who just don't know how to do this the right way, man. Who don't know how to do this the right way, who don't want to do this the right way. Because I don't for a second believe that the average, person who's buying excuse me, excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. The average person who's buying a stock today doesn't know how to use a moving average. I don't believe that. I believe most people who buy a stock today understand how to use a moving average. They just honestly want to believe that they are smarter than the market. They honestly want to believe that they are smarter than people who have 20, 30, 40 years in this game, and they think they can jump in and 5 minutes later double their money, triple their money. And a lot of it too is naivete, and it's also a lot of people being misled. Uh, but I really feel that some people just, they just want to take the risk, man, because the risk feels good. The risk feels good. Taking the risk feels good. And you get that dopamine hit, the same dopamine hit that some people get being on TikTok, being on Instagram, being on all these other social media platforms. By the way, follow me on my new Twitter. Follow me on my new Instagram, Terry Julian Show. That's at Terry Julian Show. At Terry Julian Show. I'm going to be building those up. For those of you guys who weren't here earlier, this is the Terry Julian Show being rebranded. Allows me to kind of move under a pseudonym. Audiobook coming soon on Iron Condors. You say arrogance plus ignorance equal capital destruction. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You're looking for a pullback, then pull back to the upside, then I'm going to short the market for the next week. Yeah, again, as long as your favorite stock, whatever it is, stays under the 10-month moving average, as long as it stays below there, there's no reason to buy. There's no reason to buy. Even everybody's excited about this move in Bitcoin, even though I still think Tether is going to explode. I still think Tether will explode. I want to see Bitcoin cross that blue line right there. I want to see Bitcoin cross 22,733. And I want it to stay above that. If Bitcoin stays above 22,733, I think some big things are going to happen. Some big things are going to happen for Bitcoin. Because we can see it in gold and silver. If we go to GLD, as you can see here, it's above the 10-month moving average. This is where you would go ahead and start selling puts, right? Or doing a bull put spread, right? Those puts are being absolutely destroyed right now in GLD. Down day for GLD now, but I continue to see gold and silver and commodities like this continue to go higher because we're going to continue to raise the debt ceiling. Folks, this economy, this country is run off debt. They've got to keep printing money. They've got to keep printing money. Gold is going to break out. Gold is going to break out here. The trend is telling you that. The trend is telling you the trend is telling you that they got to keep printing. This is economy. This is an economy that's built on the continued devaluation of the dollar. Until these other countries finally get the strength to say, we're not going to be slaves to the US dollar anymore. We're going to go ahead and buy crude with gold, or we're going to buy these valuables with something else. They're going to just keep printing money because the other countries don't have the strength to fight back. Right? They don't have the strength. We're going to continue to print US debt because these other countries continually want US dollars. So, somebody asks, where would you want to be right now? Commodities right now. Gold, silver. Let's look at SLV. All right. Slight pullback right now in SLV. And you can expect that. You can expect that. All right. I'd love to see some RSI, some new RSI highs in silver. All right, break out of that 60 RSI cap here. We need to break out of that. Um, you know, we're gonna break out of that. And once you break out of that red line here for that 60 RSI here top, that's where you start to get some real big moves. All right, you start to get some real big moves here, as you can point out back in June of 2019. Let me go ahead and get my cross out here. And we learned that in that video, and I'm going to create another video for John Hayden's RSI to Guide, a part 2 of that. Those of you guys who really studied it, you got a lot out of that video. Because as we know, when you're using the RSI indicator, one of the great ways to find divergence in RSI is that sometimes RSI, to find divergence, you'll notice that the RSI made a high even though price didn't make a high. So the RSI has already made a high, and then the price continues to go up. All right, you find that in SPY, in fact. Let's see here. Can I? Well, no, let's get something that, yeah, RSI high, price high, but not RSI, but it didn't make a new high. So when you see price making a new high, but RSI doesn't make a new high, that's bearish divergence. Let me see maybe a more clear signal. Beyond Meat did it too. Oh no, that was just more of a. That's a beautiful signal right there. Price high, no RSI high. That's bearish divergence right here. So you can kind of see it across many different stocks. You can point this out too. And for those of you guys who don't have RSI, the guide by John Hayden, email me. My email is updated on there. It should be terryjulianshow@gmail.com. I'll send you the ebook. For those of you guys who don't have the ebook, I'll gladly send that to you. So just email me, terryjulianshow@gmail.com. I'll send you that ebook if you don't have it. But that's how to find divergence using RSI. Price will make a new high, but RSI will not make a new high. That's a good sign that the market is pulling back. In fact, let me look at GBTC. GBTC on, let me see, on, let's say on a smaller time frame, let's say hourly. Oh yeah, this is a great signal right here. Look at that. Great signal right here. So new price high, no new RSI high. So you know a pullback is coming. All right, you know a pullback is coming if we don't see a new RSI high. But again, you know, these smaller time frames, man, the signals can be weak because you don't have as much data. It's so much more clear on these higher time frames. Here's a monthly chart. Again, new price high, no new RSI high. So you saw the demand was actually weakening and not strengthening. I'm buying Gala Games and maybe a few others, just sit around and hold, okay? Speaking of the US dollar, what are your thoughts on BRICS and potential petrodollar? I'm excited about it, but they got to follow through. We've been talking about a petrodollar for, you know, almost 40 years. You know, you can read some articles back from the 1970s talking about petrodollar. They've never followed through on it. You know, I'm not a big Forex guy, but I made a lot of money on USD ZAR, which is US dollar South African. Again, just using that 10-month moving average signal. And boy, you know, again, the amount of leverage that you get in Forex is absolutely unbelievable. I literally only put in $350, but I came back out here with like 2,700 based on this move. Based on this move, it's my fault for staying in it a little too long. But the amount of leverage you get in Forex is nuts. I'm not a Forex guy, but I do know how to read a chart, and I do know how to read a trend. And the trend was very, very clear when you're talking about the U.S. dollar and these third-rate developing nation, uh, you know, currencies. Currency Wars by Jim Ricard is a great and timely read. Absolutely. I started, but I never finished that book. If he's got an audiobook, I'll check it out. I'm big into audiobooks now. I'm big into audiobooks now because in the audiobook I can up the speed to like 1.5 and then I'm just really digesting the books a lot faster and getting some key thoughts out of them. But to sit down and read a book, man, it's very I find it very, very time consuming now. Hmm? A piece of pizza? Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm gonna hang with you guys until the close here. Man, you know, again, what a boring day. What a boring day. Market down 1%. Again, fighting of that resistance. I want you to use your third eye here. We've been in that green zone, that 40 to 80 RSI for a very long time. And now, we have really broken down and we're spending more time into that, you know, that, you know, 20 to 60 RSI. All right. That continues to show as long as we stay in that level, it continues to stay bearish. And the market will continue to stay bearish. And I would not want to be long here at all. Shout out to everybody who believes in dollar cost averaging. I think there was a time and place that dollar cost averaging made sense. I think that was your parents' generation. I don't know if our generation that's going to make sense. I'm not sure if that's going to make sense for our generation. You know, you don't want to everybody see that sexy body of yours, babe. Oh, okay. Well, next time when your hair is done, then you can show off. She's got some crazy hips, man. Crazy hips, guys. I've always been telling you guys how. You know. All right, then. I appreciate the pizza, but they can hear the TV though. Thank you. All right. She gave me a piece of pizza. A little microwave pizza. Yeah, I love these little store bought pizzas. I swear they hit better than you know, Pizza Hut and all these other places. Although I would say Domino's has gotten a little bit better. You said you still drive 18 wheelers, getting your master's at the same time. Bro, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you get your master's degree and drive a truck at the same time. I couldn't find time to do anything else. It was either looking at stocks, which again was causing my trucking career to fail. I cared more about trading than I cared about showing up on time for my deliveries. That was my big problem. But once I cashed out Beyond Meat, because I went nearly 60% of my account, I went in Beyond Meat because I knew, you know, it was going to fall apart, and it did. So once I got all of that liquidity, I really didn't give a fuck after that. You know, I really didn't. Once I got that liquidity and I was up, man, I was sitting on that money. I didn't care if they fired me or not, you know. But what's great about trucking is they don't ever fire you. They just bring you into the office and they'll say, "Hey, man, we need to make, we need a choice. We need a choice to be made here," and they let you leave. So they never really fire you. You got to do some really dumb shit like fuck the truck up or abandon the truck or something like that. Yeah. But now I'm just sitting on my CDL, man. I'm just sitting on it. But I still don't think it was a waste of time because I made some decent money and it did what it needed me to do. It got me back on my feet and I appreciate it. When, it was there for me when liquidity got really tight. When liquidity got really tight. And I'll do whatever it takes to keep it active. I'll do the little medical exams or whatever that I need to take to keep it active. You know, but do I see myself going back into it? Nah, Nah, man. You know, because your mind plays tricks on you, man. When you back there sleeping in the middle of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? Driving around, trying to find parking. Bro, there was one day I swear I spent like 2 hours just trying to find parking. It was horrible. You know, it got to a point where I was like, look, man, I'm going to block this fucking interstate if I don't find some damn parking. So every man should have at least one blue collar skill in the event of a recession. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So much freedom that comes in having a blue collar skill that you can just jump and go and make some money in. That's one thing I will treasure about my CDL is the fact that, and I have all the certifications. I can drive a bus, I can drive a passenger bus, I can drive hazmat. I have all the little I have everything. I went and got everything, man. Because at the time I thought I was like, oh, I'm gonna make myself so marketable, even though they had me stuck pushing a reefer my whole time. But I went and got all these, other little certifications. But uh, yeah, man, there's definitely a beauty in having a blue collar skill, just in case. Because look, look at the article that came out today on CNBC. 60,000 information technology professionals have been laid off. 60,000. 60,000. So, and for the last year and a half, they've been doing what? Pushing everybody, hey, you got to learn how to code. You got to learn how to code. You got to learn how to code. And pushing people into these IT roles, now they're getting laid off. Not saying that there are no more IT jobs. There's still jobs out there, and there's still a lot of demand for certain roles. But it just goes to show you that, you know, there's still issues out there, and but they're not laying guys off who fix elevators. They're not laying guys off who fix roofs. They're not laying guys off who fix AC, heating, and cooling systems. Those guys are still around and still making a lot of money, by the way, particularly if you own your own business. You know, and that's a whole different conversation in itself. It's like in this day and age, man, owning your own business is so damn important unless you got just a really, really good 9 to 5 job that's paying upwards of 6 figures or higher. If it's not paying 6 figures or higher, you need to have your own business on the side, man. He says CDL is brother going to e-card. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, absolutely. You know. Now, 20 years from now, 25 years from now, uh, that might not be true. All right, driving a truck 25 years from now, that might not even be a thing. Particularly when you're talking about long range driving. Particularly when you're talking about long range driving. Because I do really believe that computers will take over that. Uh, when you talk about Chat GPT, I don't know if you guys been using that software. That's an incredible software. If Chat GPT right now was a publicly traded company, they just went public, I think right now they would make a lot of money. We still have to find a good use case, a good use profitable case, a good profitable use case, excuse me. But yeah, learn how to code, then fire 10K people here and there. This was the agenda pushed by big business to keep labor costs down and fill roles. Oh, absolutely. 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 You know? And these guys know what they're doing, man. Learn the code, learn the code, learn the code. We need more people to learn the code. You know? guys from, they're just watering. It's just, and then now you got this software that can code for you. You just literally tell, hey, code this in Python, and then it shows you the code, and it's better than yours. Is that a lot of females are doing trucking? Yeah, you're going to see a lot of women go into, quote unquote male roles, but they're not going to be the physical labor. They're going to try to go into the stuff that's just just enough that they could do it. Remember, a lot of women are going to trucking now is because a lot of the trucks now are automatics. They're not manuals. Now there were always women who were bold enough and strong enough to go out there and drive a manual truck. But that was a huge deterrent for a long time. But now these insurance companies are giving incentives for companies like Prime to switch to all automatic trucks because they find that automatics, um, they're cheaper to insure than manuals. Believe it or not. I don't know how much of that is true, but that's encouraged a lot of women to go out and become truck drivers. You know, but I mean when I see a female truck driver, I almost feel sorry for because that is so far down the path to where God wants you as a woman to be. That's just But again, that's a whole different conversation. But um, you know, I digress. That's 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 not what you were put on this earth to do. And that will be a path to a lot of unhappiness for a lot of those women if they continue on doing that, trying to be a man when they should be really be just trying to be a woman. MSFT picking up. Let's see. Somebody's saying MSFT picking up. Let's see. Uh, yeah, man. You know, this whole market has just been a disaster for so many young investors and guys my age, millennials. You can't catch a break. You really can't catch a break. Gen Z even worse, but millennials, we can't catch a break. Every time we can't get a consistent 25 years of wealth growth in this country. You can't get it. First it was 2000, then 2008, and then now, uh, what's happening with COVID, and you can't get a consistent time to build wealth. Yes, sir. What's going on, SC Trucker? You said they're trying to prove the late Kevin Samuels wrong. Oh man, Kevin Samuels is the grandfather of all of these little podcast shows. I can't even go on Instagram anymore without seeing some big-headed motherfucker on a microphone talking about relationships. Go away. Good lord. I'm so tired of these niggas, man. But Kevin Samuels is the father of all of them. He created the lane and people realized how much money he was making, and now you have all these little podcast shows. It's so irritating to watch and to see. But obviously there's an interest in it. And the interest stems from the fact that people you know, are dishonest with themselves and dishonest with other people and can't build relationship because they are afraid to love for the most part. You got a lot of people, a lot of Americans in general are really just afraid to love people because they're afraid of getting hurt. But love is painful, man. Love is painful. You know. So what you have some guys trying to do is, well, I'm going to cheat the system, and I'm going to go to another country and get another girl from another country who's willing to love, you know, wholeheartedly, and you going out there and you not willing to love wholeheartedly. How fair is that to her? I'm not against passport bros, but brother, fix your issues first. Don't go out there and grab this girl from another country who is taught and trained from the day she's born to love you no matter what, and you don't love anybody no matter what. Do you love somebody no matter what? You know, that's all I'm saying. What's going on, Universal Success? I know you changed your name. You were something else, but I remember that picture. That's all I'm saying about passport bros. We got a lot of brothers who are flying to these other countries that got real issues, man. We got brothers out here with real issues, and it's coming to the surface. You're seeing it here in Alabama, where you had this brother was on scholarship, a junior basketball player at the University of Alabama, and you kill a woman because she wouldn't talk to you? Are you crazy? I mean, this is crazy, man. This is stuff you would never see this 20 years ago. You would never see brothers. What's going on, Davier? Yes, sir. You would never see brothers killing women 20 years ago because they didn't give you the time of day. It was just like, man, just charge her to the game and keep it moving. You would never see this 20 years ago. But now, we got so many brothers out here that are so effeminate. I mean, you could even talk to them and you can feel the feminine energy. Like, God damn, nigga, what are you saying? Like, it's sad, man. You say you still trying to get to Gambia. I'm taking my wife of 21 years and kids with me. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Simp ass move. This generation is emotionally immature. It's not only that, man. It's just like emotionally immature, but just not strong, man. What I just see in a lot of younger people, they're just not strong. Like, okay, somebody say no, you got to keep moving. No, it's not the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? There are way too many women out here, way too many opportunities out here. Somebody say no, or you can't do something, or something doesn't work out, keep going. It's just that, and you know, it's just sad, man. When you don't get the opportunity to play sports when you're younger, and you don't have good coaches, or you don't have that ability to get into a game where you lose, and then you recover, and then you win another one. A lot of these kids, they're just sitting at home all day, every day. So they don't play sports. They don't know what it means to win or what it means to lose. Yeah, I've been very disappointed by uh, the lack of sports gambling stocks that have really done well out here. We were really excited when sports gambling came out initially, but I've been very disappointed in how some of these sports gambling stocks have just not really panned out. We thought MGM was going to be big. MGM, above the 10-month moving average, but just hasn't really broken out the way we wanted to. So more dads are needed in the homes? Absolutely. You know, more dads are needed in the homes, but you know, uh, man, it's so complicated, man. I don't even want to go into it because it's such a complicated thing. Because at the end of the day, man, a lot of these guys, you know, aren't in a position to be at home because there's no there's no work at home, or there's so much it's chaotic at home, or it's a woman that's not giving him peace at home. I've been in those situations too where, you know, the only time you and that female is really getting along is when you fucking, you know, and when you're not getting it in, y'all really don't get along like that. I've been in those situations, and it's just so happened that a lot of those relationships produce children. So now you're you're a father, to a child that has a mother you don't even get along with, and you can't get along with. So it's tough, man. So shout out to everybody who's in the chat room right now, man. We just chilling, watching this market. Again, I'm here to the close. Y'all let me know how things are going on your end. My Iron Condor is looking really good. Okay, my Iron Condor is looking really good. All right. I probably should have set that up for you guys. But Iron Condor looking really good right now. March 17th, I'm at 4240, 4220 on the call side, 3580, 3600 on the put side. I already know that's going to expire worthless. All right, I don't even have to look at it. I mean, it just, you know, you just put it in. I already knew it was going to expire worthless. I mean, that's just not even. It's not even going to come close. We don't have anything exciting happening at all. You had CNBC a week ago try to push the idea that inflation declined from 7.9% to 7.7%, and they try to flip that as a good thing. Nah, it's 7.7% inflation for that month, for this month. That's ridiculous. Or this past month, which is December. That's ridiculous. You know. John Blaze, would I reconsider the Bank of America job? Thinking about going back into banking? No, you can go. I mean, go ahead, man. You know, hey, if you've got the opportunity and you got the skill set to go in there, go ahead and take advantage of it, man. I enjoyed my time at Bank of America. I enjoyed my time at Wells Fargo. You know, yeah, man. If you got, go in there and let them pay for your chapter or whatever, securities license you decide to get with them. Uh, you want to get some kind of securities license. Because that's where the money is. If you don't have a securities license, please don't go into banking. There's no money in banking if you don't have a securities license. All right, you'll just end up working sales and doing a lot of bullshit. But if you want to make money in banking, you got to get a securities license. And if you want the back way to get the securities license, you can start off at well, I got mine at John Thomas Financial. I got a video there on that on my channel, but that was years ago. But uh, what's a good outfit right now? New York Life will get you a securities license. There are a lot of entry level financial institutions, like low level, like you know, institutions out there that you can join, and you just go there for like a year, get your securities license paid for. They'll give you training, and then after a year, you can bounce and go to a big bank. And you can, you'll start out, 60, 65, 70, and then plus commission, and you can make really good money. You know, you can make really good money, and then, but just be aware, like your social media will be reviewed. Um, your LinkedIn will be reviewed. You are beholden to the institution. All right, they control everything, and you are now beholden to them. All right, you are a slave to the bank. And some people are cool with it. If the money is right, they're cool with it. You know. But if you're like me and you like to take 6 weeks off, you like to travel, you like to say what you want to say online, you like to post what you want to post, then that's not the place for you. That's not the place for you. So understand you're going to have to behave a certain way, even look a certain way when you're working in those places. So everything in the Dollar Tree is $1.25. That's real inflation. Absolutely. And Dollar Tree, even Dollar Tree $1.25, honestly, is too cheap. Dollar Tree should probably be selling a lot of those products for $3. To be real honest, if they were really pricing it what it really should be, it'd probably be around $3 an item. It'd probably be around $3 an item for a lot of those things. You know, I'm pretty sure that Dollar Tree is running losses on a lot of those products in the hopes that they continue that strategy of just you going in there and spending $30 to $35 at a time, which is what most customers do when they go into Dollar Tree. You know, they buy a lot more. Very rarely do you go into Dollar Tree and buy just one thing. You typically will go in there and you'll see people coming in there with bags and buckets of stuff. I say 50 cents an item, judging all the health issues with those unchecked products. Okay. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, some of those products, yeah. I mean, they're coming from China. God knows what's on them. Some of those dollar store toys and stuff. I would never give my child some of those dollar store toys. Who knows what's on them things? You know, who knows? Man, this market is really just trying to fight, but there's nothing left here. There's just really nothing left here. I mean, this was this morning, and these folks they don't know how to act when the stock goes down. So I'm loving every minute of it. Again, I'm all the way down at 36.40. So hey, bring it on. You know. But you get to those levels where the market is not going to visit you anytime soon. At the end of the day, uh, we're at a huge, huge discount for the market. Uh, I still don't think we're appropriately priced. I still think we could lose another 10% from here, to be honest with you. Particularly if we raise interest rates again. We could see another 10% go lower. Say the Hood Health book put you onto all of that. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah. Health is so important, man. I recently got back into the gym and I'm doing a treadmill every single day. You know, do the treadmill every single day, 1 hour a day, 3 miles. I put the speed on 3 to 3.5, and the lift on 10 or 12. The incline, excuse me, incline 10 or 12, and then I just go for 1 hour, and it feels good, man. It feels real good. It feels real good, man. Because now, like my hard on is nice and stiff again. You know what I'm saying? Now that my blood is flowing, I got that big stiff wood again. I got, you know, that desire is back and strong again, man. And you got to have that blood flowing in your body by being active. That's what's killing testosterone. It's just not being active. And don't get me wrong, not the treadmill don't do it all too. You got to get some weights in and whatnot too. But that was really the beginning, just getting, your heart pumping, getting your heart pumping through your body. That's really what works. Can I drop more game on those bank loans for land purchase? Yeah, man. Oh yeah, yeah, Javier. I remember you did ask me about that. So look, guys, as I travel the country, there are places in this country where you can buy land for very, very cheap. And I mean, like you can buy lots for like $500. Now, I have a bank here in North Carolina called True Lion. Now, True Lion will finance up to 70% with as little as $5,000. A little $5,000 purchase price, 70%, and you put up the rest. So there are a lot of little lots. If you have the money, you can literally look on some of these maps and see where, things are encroaching to where you are going to end up possibly being bought out for a large amount of money if you've got the money to sit on those lots. Some of these lots are near. I love lots that are particularly near large institutions like universities, particularly state universities. I'm not big on the private schools. Uh, there's so many of them out there, man, and nobody's looking at them. But what I really believe is going to happen in the next, 2 to 5 years, maybe there's a real need for housing, and we're going to have a major housing legislation passed very, very soon. I really believe that because things can't keep going the way they're going. People need places to live, man. You guys see the homelessness out there. You see the way these rents are going out here. This is not sustainable at all. Population is not going down in this country, and that's all, again, all intentional. We're getting 2 million illegal immigrants coming into this country every year. 2 million, not including the children who are born in America. Right? So uh, I would definitely look into lots and pick up at least one. Pick up one for yourself. Pick up one for yourself. You know. But more importantly, not everybody is into the sit and wait game, and that's cool. But a lot of these lots are also very lucrative to foreign investors who are looking to hide or hold capital somewhere. So there are websites, and off the top of my head, man, I don't have them, where Chinese investors, investors from Europe, they will buy these plots of land just to basically use as bank accounts to hold their currency in. Right? It's just basically another way to hold money in U.S. land. U.S. land is very, very valuable overseas to international investors. So it's something to look into, man. Look into land investing. There's a lot of books out there on it. The game is still very, very raw. It's still very, very raw. But, you know, the world is now so much smaller to where now you can do business with people overseas like that. And you got Americans who are going overseas now. You got Americans who are going to Mexico. Americans who are going to Mexico and living in Mexico permanently. Now, I don't know. I feel like Mexico is a little bit more of a dangerous place just because I feel like they could clap back so quickly on those folks. Uh, but yeah, you got Americans moving to Mexico now. Because uh, for a lot of people, they can't afford to live in America anymore. Can you imagine that? Not being able to afford to live in America. And that makes a lot of sense for a lot of older people. I mean, think about it. If you're 68 years old right now, this is probably the worst time in your lifetime to retire. If you're 68, 69, 70, this is the worst time then you can remember to retire. This is the worst time in you can this is everything's so much more expensive. You sell your house, where are you going to move to? Where are you going to move to? All of the senior citizen homes are full. If you can even get in one, call them and see. I looked into some of these real estate investment trusts that have senior housing. They have no availability, bro. Some of these availabilities have years long. Look into it. They have no availability in some of these senior citizen homes. So unless you're lucky enough to be wealthy enough to just go out and buy yourself your own condo, or you have a paid off housing, you have paid off housing where you don't need income from the property and you can afford to have someone come in and take care of you, you're shit out of luck. You might have to be one of those people who has to do a reverse mortgage and all of that stuff. Or you've got no choice but to leave the country. You got to leave the country. You got older folks having to go to Mexico, having to go to Belize, having to go to all of these South American countries just to have a decent retirement because they can't afford to retire. Yeah. You said because Americans are living longer, surprisingly? Absolutely. I mean, medicine is better, you know. Oh, I don't know. Living longer, we might, put an asterisk to that because those of you guys who took the jab, I don't know how long y'all gonna live. But again, that's a different conversation. That's a different conversation. You know, and shout out to those people who did the Dave Chappelle. Remember, he did a skit on taking the J&J. They called it the ghetto jab, and that was, in hindsight, that was the one to take. That was the one to take because that was the one that had the least amount of issues long term. That was the nigga jab. The nigga jab was the one to get. And in fact, now you can't even find it if you want it. It's hard to get that one if you want that one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they pushed everybody to that one brand, and now there's literally a documentary on it. It's called "Died Suddenly." I mean, that's crazy. They got a whole documentary where it's just showing people, who took the big name jab, all right, who took the white folks jab, and things didn't work out. Things didn't work out. You know. It's crazy out here, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, so this market is clearly not going to make a run. Oh man, look at that. SPX selling off into the close. God damn. We're gonna break the low. Hold on. Well, we definitely gonna break today's low. Are we gonna break today's low? It's trying to hold the day's low, but looks like we might break underneath it. Let me see if I fit it in on the 5-minute candlestick. Yep, we broke it. We broke it. All right, we broke it. All right, so new low SPX, new low SPY, new low. Cats having strokes like crazy over here in Florida. Yeah, I bet. I bet. Let's take a look at SPY as it sells into the close here. There's the 5 minute. Let's go back to the 1 minute as the selling continues and only gets stronger and stronger, folks. Only getting stronger as it sells into the close. And I mean, it's not like nothing's going on out here. It's just there's nothing to get excited about. There's just really nothing to get excited about on the market right now, man. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, people don't have paper like that. You know, you're seeing consumer debt rising higher than ever before. Now, I was smart. Back in November, I went ahead and consolidated all my credit card debt. I consolidated, so I have no credit card debt right now. And I locked in all my debt at one low rate. And so I got no credit card debt. But that's the danger of consolidation, is because now all your credit cards are zero balance. There's, you know, so many enticing things to go out and buy, but you got to control yourself. So I just control myself by not purchasing things. Because this is the time to really get your credit. Get your credit right, man. Get your credit right. If it's not right, get it right now. Because once we back on the up and up, that's not when you want to be fumbling trying to get your credit right. When everybody's starting to offer opportunities, you know. Wow, this market really wants to sell hard. Shout out to you, Davier. You said you just purchased your first house. You're looking into land now. They be trying to buy. They buying all the real estate. Yeah, and Davier, as I mentioned earlier in the show, they want to turn America into Europe, where generations of families just rent for the rest of their lives. You know? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, where generations just, you know, into the rest of their lives. So, all right. So we got some buyers coming in, and again, these, you know, you don't know how much of these are just people who are just trying to short term, 1 minute, 2 minute this thing. Let's take a look here. Oh yeah. Here's a SPY out in 1 hour. So we kind of saw this coming. As you can see here, 1 hour, and I mentioned earlier, right, when we talk about divergences in RSI, you're going to have a price high and then an RSI high. And the RSI had already made the high, and it wasn't a new high, and therefore caused the divergence. So you can see here, RSI high, no new RSI high, so you knew this was eventually going to sell off, and it eventually did. And it did sell off. Here's a divergence in RSI divergence. Yes, indeed. Hey, press like on this video. I appreciate all you guys who are in here right now to press like on this video. I should have asked that earlier. Again, I just kind of popped up out of nowhere, so things weren't even set up. And I appreciate all you guys who are in here or who came in here. We had up to 142 people in here at one time. Shout out to all the people who had came up in here and joined us. I appreciate that. Cat's having a stroke like crazy over here. Okay. So yeah, give me some tickers if you guys are looking into anything right now. Give me some tickers. I appreciate that. Again, the only thing I'm excited about right now is the commodity space. Just because we're going into a big fight with the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling will be raised, guys. They don't have a choice. All right, don't get fooled by the propaganda by the media. They've got no other choice but to raise the debt ceiling. They've got no other choice. There's nothing else they can do. The government has to print more money. They have to get into more debt. There's nothing. They're not going to cut no programs. They're not going to. They don't have the courage to do it. They don't have the courage to cut any program. Okay, they don't. These not your grandparents Republicans. They don't have the guts to cut no program. They don't. Somebody said UAA. What is UAA? Oh, Under Armour. Okay. Okay. Look at Under Armour above my moving average on the monthly chart. Okay. What's got Under Armour moving so aggressively? All right. Yeah, Under Armour looking like a buy in my let's see, is it above? It's got to be above the 50 day. Yeah, right. Yeah, above my 50-day moving average, above the 50-day EMA. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see, man. So it's actually looking really good, man. Under Armour is actually looking like a buy. Yeah, Under Armour is actually looking like a buy right now, man. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Blessings abound. And we gonna keep giving out good game over here. You know, I'm glad to see people are listening. PLG, PLG Platinum Group Holdings. Looks like it's a penny stock. Yeah, I don't know much about this company. Yeah, let's see some volume come into this, man. Let's see some volume come into this. Another indicator you might want to use for this stock is called unbalanced volume. Unbalanced volume is a really good indicator for you to determine to see if volume is coming into a stock, because all unbalanced volume is, it's a volume indicator. It's just going to show you if daily volume, or in this case monthly, because I'm on a monthly chart, is rising month or day over day or month after month. And as you can look at unbalanced volume with this is not a very good sign on PLG. This is not a good sign. Um, you don't want to see unbalanced volume. See, you want to see something look like this. See, this is what you want to see. You want to see unbalanced volume going up. That tells you daily volume is increasing. People are buying. People want to be a part of what's going on here. You know. So when I look at PLG, and that's me being honest with you, brother, I'm not seeing the excitement there. You may be early into something. Maybe you know something I don't. Maybe you know something I don't. So if that's the case, let me know. But on balance volume is a great indicator for you to be able to get in on, and sometimes you can even put a moving average on top of it as well. Great indicator for you to kind of get into a stock that people are talking about, but you might be a little early, so you might want to see before the moves higher. He said, Steve Gage Sr., how much are they going to raise it? I'm not sure. But I know they're going to raise it, and that means more money being printed out there, more of your money losing value, and more of GLD, SLV, these other commodities, and maybe Bitcoin rising in value. Because they've got to keep printing the money. They've got no choice but to keep printing the money. Okay? I've talked a lot of shit about gold for a long time, but this might be it, bro. This might be like the all-time high. In my opinion, is going to get touched because it's breaking out. All right, it's breaking out. Remember, we talk about when we're in bearish territory between 60 and 20, right? So we're breaking out of that 60 RSI here on the monthly chart. If you go on the daily, you're already out. You're already now between 80 and 40. In fact, since November, you've been above 80 40. I mean, here's your buy signal. Your buy signal. I mean, so yeah, if you're someone who wants to sell puts, you can sell puts in GLD right now. I'll be very comfortable doing it. You can sell puts in GLD right now and very, very comfortable doing it. Sleep like a deer, you know. Hibernate like a bear in the wintertime and sleep very, very well. Sleep in GLD puts because they've got no choice, man. They've got no choice. AMC, you know, Jesus. I mean, at these stocks, these meme stocks, I don't know what's left, man. You know what's left. At this point, I think you're throwing away your money. BBBY, hold on, BBBY. Bed Bath and Beyond is going broke. They're possibly going bankrupt. Didn't they miss their 3 earnings in a row? I think they missed 3. Yeah, they missed like 3 in a row, right? The earnings. Yeah, I think they're going bankrupt. APE. Okay, that's the preferred shares. APRN. Is that Blue Apron? Are they still trading? Oh my God. Blue Apron is still trading? Good Lord. I can't believe Blue Apron is still trading. Yeah, Blue Apron. Man, what a joke. What a joke. Yeah, Blue Apron is a joke, man. I mean, you know, Blue Apron is one of these stocks that will, if they haven't already reverse split, they probably will reverse and try to hang on, you know, to these larger exchanges. But they belong on the pink sheets, you know. But they're not gonna do a Hertz. You know, everybody's trying to get into the nerds. Hertz, you know, Hertz was something special, and I missed Hertz. I'll be the first one to tell you, I missed Hertz and everything that came with that, man. That was something special. That was something special. Hertz, what that did on the pink sheets, and yeah, man, that was a missed opportunity that I do not regret because, again, it was in the pink sheets. It looked dead, but you had some people who went out and bought those assets and have done a great job of turning that situation around. HKD looks like it's setting something up. I don't know anything about HKD. Yeah, Hertz was a huge gamble and it paid off for a lot of people. But it was a huge gamble though, you know. I remember seeing Hertz at 44 cents, you know. I think it actually got into the 20s for a while. I think it actually got into the 20s for a while. You know, I really hope you guys haven't given up on the market. I know a lot of people have given up on the stock market, but at the end of the day, folks, man, like, you know, in the United States of America, there's no greater wealth generator than real estate or the stock market. It's just no greater wealth generator. You know, nothing's built wealth, you know, faster, better for people than this or real estate. The job that you got is not going to do it, man. It's just not going to do it. I've had some great jobs. I've had some shitty jobs. And one thing that I've learned, no matter how many degrees I went and got, no matter how hard I worked on the job, like these motherfuckers weren't gonna pay me to get rich. They were never gonna pay me to get rich. You know. But boy, when I do these trades, man, and I get that little market check that I give myself at that 90-day mark when my condors have expired, or now I actually managed them halfway. It feels better than a paycheck, to be honest with you. All right, man. It's 5:45. As you can see here, really bearish right now, man. Very, very, very bearish on these higher time frames. Um, this is just so predictable at this point, man. It's just so predictable at this point. Not saying, predictable as in like I could tell where it's going. It's just more or less. It's just so obvious the sentiment of where we are right now as a country, where people just are people want more. They want more. They want all the wealth that is calcified at the top to start breaking apart and coming down and showering on them. People want to get the money showers, man. People want to get the money showers. And that wealth is calcified up there. It's got to come down to the people. It's got to come down to the people. So when you see the market falling on its ass, don't ever feel bad. Don't ever feel bad, because remember, 80% of all the wealth in the stock market is owned by the top 1% of this country. So don't ever feel bad when you see the market down 1, 3, 4, 5%, because a lot of times that's not you. That's not you. Now, once you get to that point, yeah, oh shit, man, I feel bad for you, bro. But until you get to that point where a 1% move means you're down $25,000 for that day, until you get to that point, man, I don't feel sorry for none of these motherfuckers, man. You know. My only regret is I wish I had took more seriously building business credit, because I had put out some videos on that, and even though I had great starter information for that, I should have built even more, because interest rates, now that I really want to use business credit to get into the market, because now we got these the market really going this sideways, no making no money kind of situation. Now the rates to borrow money are so damn high, and you got to have basically near perfect credit in order to borrow money that's efficiently priced, for you. You know. Of course, you're not telling them you're using it to trade the market, but that's what you're doing it for. Because at the end of the day, man, you need the leverage, and the leverage not necessarily when we talk about the trade as much as the capital needed to trade. You gotta get more leverage. You gotta get more money, and that's why sticking in your 9 to 5 makes a huge, huge, huge difference when it comes to building your trading business, and potentially positioning yourself to free yourself from 9 to 5 through trading, or through a somewhat passive aggressive trading strategy, or what I like to call an income generating trading strategy. All right, where we're not trading for some large amount of money to eventually have, but just to trade for continuing income generation. That's the point where I'm getting at. So there's some PowerPoints that are going to be made and put out, and I'm going to continue to promote that. Because eventually I'm going to get you guys on my side. Eventually I'm going to get you guys on my side and using options to generate income instead of uh, and 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 crush and crush implied volatility instead of what a lot of you guys are doing right now, which is, you know, these low probability 20 to 40% trades that a lot of you guys are doing right now. Eventually, I'm going to get you to move to my side. All right, and it's going to be boring, man. It's going to be really, really boring. It's going to be really, really boring. The next couple of years are going to be so boring. You know, look at the OTC stocks. Look at the penny stocks. They're not even hot like they used to be just a year ago. They've pretty much gone. The high flyers in that are gone. You know, so we're going to be doing a lot, man. We're going to be doing a lot. All right. 7 more minutes until the market closes. Says consistency is key. Yes, consistency is key. Consistency is key, and that's a rule that I'm definitely taking into 2023 for me, is putting out regular amount of content. It started with me going live today. Going live today. You know, and don't get it twisted. I wasn't ready with all my setup. I didn't have the call line set up. But I wasn't trying to have no excuse. I'm like, man, I'm going live. If I don't feel good or no, I don't care. I need to do this. You know, because yeah, absolutely, Davia, consistency is key because that rubs off in other parts in your life. If you're not consistent with your business, then you're not consistent with family, then you're not consistent with personal relationships, you're not consistent with money, and it rubs off into other things. Appreciate you, Big Honk. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, but I'll be posting a video. Um, my lives are going to be in the evenings, so that more people can definitely tune in. So you'll be seeing me go live in the evenings. I definitely see myself doing an hour show in the evenings. Yes, sir. All right. You know, now that all the clowns are gone, we can get back to, making some real bread, man. You know, because the one thing about, the pandemic, there were a lot of clowns who showed up, man. There are a lot of clowns who showed up who were really good at the editing, really good at, making the flashy, headlines or whatnot, but they really know how to talk this stock shit. And a lot of people fell for them. And where are they at now? I can tell you this, they ain't make no money. I tell you that, they ain't make no money, you know. But we here though. You said you get confused picking strikes for your legs on spreads. Well, it should be when when you're picking the strikes on spreads, you should be looking. Well, it depends on what kind of option you're doing. But if you're doing iron condors, it should be based on your probability of being the percentage of out of the money. So I only look for based on 80% or higher. All right, so 80% or higher. You should go by probability of being out of the money, 80% or higher. All right, and then you always want to be, well, and this depends on your capital too. You always want to be, um, I prefer $20. Okay, when you're talking about SPX is 20. Well, even in SPY, 20. I do 20. $20 from your nearest leg. All right, each leg should be $20 apart. Because that's where you get the generous theta burn. And I mean, you're going to get wonderful theta burn when you're $20 apart or more. You know, once you start to get big capital and you can get $50 apart, oh man, you get very, very generous theta burn. I mean, the type of money you start to put in your pocket on a daily basis is incredible. You know, when you're talking about financial institutions, like Bank of America, Wells Fargo of the world, these companies making, one or two trades a month, they on their positions almost $100 apart on on their positions. Now, and then of course they do take regular, just stock positions, of course, but they do have trading desk. And if you ever notice, if you ever read and get an opportunity to read um, issues from their trading desk when they release their earnings report, bank financial trading desks never lose money. They never lose money. And the reason why they never lose money is because they trade non-directionally. They don't care whether the market goes up or down, left, right. They're always going to make money. They're always going to make money because they are in these options just with you as well. They're in there with you. Trust me. All right. You think I'm early on miners like AG or Barrick? Uh, Actually, that's a miner that actually makes sense. Based on this chart, it doesn't look like it. AG is looking really good. Here's an on-balance volume indicator. So it looks like some volumes coming in there. Okay, on the daily, it doesn't look as. He had some volume coming in here. Uh, okay, I'd like to see a breakout to the upside on the volume though. What, you gave me another ticker. What ticker did you say? AG. Say charge for a premium group. I appreciate you, brother. The YouTube been missing you. I noticed that, man. I noticed that the YouTube was really missing just some real casual game when it comes to the stock market, man. There's a lot of corny dudes out here, and I'm not saying that to be insulting. I'm just saying like they really just corny with the market in terms of, the way they talk about it. It's very corny. So the market is definitely, and YouTube in general is just really in dire need of just somebody who wants to just kick back and just, spit some real shit about it. Yeah, 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 absolutely, absolutely. Let's go, let's go. Going into the close. Okay, all right. Well, market is closed now, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for joining me for these 2 hours as we saw the market sell off today, in a big way. And in my opinion, I think this is really the beginning of what could be a pretty strong downturn, man. And it's not something that we should be really surprised of. You got these tech companies out here that are slowly, firing a lot of people. We got Amazon coming out saying that they're laying off 18,000 employees. They're closing out certain factories. They're freezing hiring at the executive level. So, I mean, they understand the downturn is coming. They understand the downturn is coming, and it's going to be rough out here. It's going to be rough out here, but they've got to do what they got to do to get inflation down because they know they printed too much money during COVID. All that money went in, nefarious hands for the most part. It didn't go into, for the most part, the hands of the American people. All right, we had a that. I mean, you can look up that guy who got a $60 million contract from Trump to get the what is that, the breathing machines or something like that, and he didn't even do it. Like he didn't even he didn't even create any of it. I mean, there was millions of dollars that was literally giving away hundreds of billions of dollars, giving away, and these people will never be prosecuted for it. They took the money, they're gone. We got another case here where in Ukraine, we've got the Biden family embezzling money through Ukraine. I mean, that's basically what this is. This is a massive amount of embezzlement going on in Ukraine. This is crazy. This is crazy what's going on in Ukraine. I don't even want to get started on that. That's a whole hour in itself. But Russia has been our ally in every major war in U.S. history, going back to the Civil War. Going back to the Civil War, Russia was actually had 3 or 4 ships in the New York harbor because France, I believe it was France. France was thinking about invading from the north, but the Russians were there, and because of the Russians, France didn't invade because France was on the side of the South. Man, this is some crazy. This is some crazy history, man. So don't play into the whole Russia's your enemy thing. That's all optics, man. That's all optics. And man, money makes people do some crazy things, man. Nia Chai, no, I'm done with that. I had the whole spiel on that at the beginning of the show. I've been out of that stuff. I'm out of that stuff, man. And just to sum it up, it became very clear to my fleet manager and anyone else who was part of the management team at Prime and Averant that I cared more about trading than I cared about showing up on time to get my loads. So change had to be made. And it was best for the both of us, man. Yes, sir. It was best for the both of us. Because I didn't want to, because I was getting depressed, man. I was just getting depressed. Just sitting on that truck, not getting no pussy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a brother that, bro, I get it in 4 times a week, bro. And now I'm on the truck, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, nothing, no female company. You know, I, I can't do it, man. I go crazy, you know. I go crazy. So I couldn't do it no more, man. And then plus, as I mentioned earlier, once Beyond Meat, once Beyond Meat started doing what it was doing, I was able to cash out and get that liquidity. Oh man, it was over. Couldn't nobody tell me nothing after that. Couldn't nobody tell me nothing after that. I had my bag. All that money that had been tied up into Beyond Meat was free. You know, so yeah, it was good. You said a lot of Seaman X. Shout out to Seaman X, man. Like I said, we got a new affiliate partner, Seaman X, coming up here soon. So you're gonna be seeing their ad on my stuff. Uh, and yeah, guys, man, for those of you guys who are using the little blue pills or whatever it is you're using, you're not finishing strong. So if you want to learn how to finish strong and have those face covering loads that women love, you need to get on that Seaman X. And my affiliate link will be coming up. Get yourself a 3-month supply to help build up, your load, so you can go out there and be a beast in the bedroom that way too, man. You know, because she want to feel that. She want to feel that you know, in a major way. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. Well, it's your boy Sal, man. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to everybody who joined me today. Look out for some content being put out every day, man. So, because your boy is jobless, so yeah, every single day, yeah. All right. Until then, man. Tomorrow is another trading day.